Hey guys, so today we're going to get started talking about the explorers, and we left off talking in our last unit. We talked about Native Americans and how they were the first Americans to live in North America. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to start going into why Europeans came to North America. And when I'm talking about Europeans, I mean people from places like France and Spain and England and Portugal, in countries like that over in the continent of Europe. And so it all started with people like Christopher Columbus. But before we talk about why Christopher Columbus sailed, we need to talk about why different sailors left to come to the New World, which is what we call North America, basically to the western side of the world. What was their reasoning for leaving? And so that's what we're going to be talking about in this unit, okay? This one's kind of fun because we're going to be thinking about it in the context of a sunken ship, and we're going to be looking at that here in just a moment, okay? So I'm on page 39 in your History Alive textbooks if you want to follow along. Otherwise, you can follow along on the screen, okay? So here it says, in Chapter 3, we read about Native American cultural regions. In this chapter, we're going to learn about why Europeans, they sailed to the Americas, which they called the New World. So both North and South America was called the New World. Of course, to Native Americans, this was not a new world, because we know they were the first ones there. They had lived there for thousands of years. In the 1500s, that was the age of exploration for the Europeans. Prior to this time, only a few people had traveled very far from Europe. Beginning with Columbus's famous voyage to North America in 1492, Europeans wanted to search the lands unknown to them. Explorers sailed small ships across large oceans that few had crossed before. Ocean storms and all those rocky shores, they sometimes destroyed their ships because, remember, their ships were not very well built. They were mostly made out of wood, so a rocky shore, big storms, it's going to cause some problems. So ocean storms and rocky shores sometimes destroyed their ships, and today people find and excavate, or what they call dig up, all those sunken ships, and it's pretty cool what they find. They look for artifacts like tools and gold coins on the nearby ocean floor, and these objects, they really reveal why these explorers sailed to new lands and what they found there. So they're almost like detectives, guys. They're looking for that evidence of why someone did something. What was their motive? Okay? So look at the drawing at the sunken ship to the right. As you read this chapter, imagine that you're a diver investigating a sunken ship to learn about European exploration. So what objects do you think you might find on that sunken ship? What clues do they give about why Europeans came to the continent of North America? So we're going to be looking at a sunken ship and seeing what all kinds of things would be found on that sunken ship. And when we find those things, well, why did the explorers have them? What was their reason for having them? And that's going to lead us to understand a little bit more about their motivation, okay? And on the opposite page, on page 38, so I'm going to scoot across here on page 38, and if you'll notice, sorry, there's a little bit of a glare. This is a picture of underwater technology, and you can kind of see on this page, you can kind of see the outline of the ship and what divers have done, and you can even see a diver up here in the corner. What divers have done is they've roped off and they've kind of gridded. It kind of looks like a grid. They've gridded the ship, and that's how they keep track of what they find in each section. Here we have another diver. What they keep track of in each section, and why was it found in that area, and what does that piece of evidence mean? Okay, so they're still investigating ships that they find on the ocean floor, which is pretty cool because some of those ships are hundreds of years old. Okay. All right, so that concludes everything in section 4.1 on page 39 of your introduction, and we'll keep going.